care.
But
Would you have you ever worn a jersey with an SS or a swastika on it? I'm asking you.
all right, I'm going to tell you. No, I haven't. But I'm going to tell you a story. I used to work with a guy. This would be prior to Navy. He had an SS, like identical thing, SS tattooed on his arm, on his forearm.
Right.
Had nothing to do with Nazis or anything like that. And I said, "Did you think that might be not a good idea to have, SS tattooed on your arm?" And he disagreed. And he did. I mean, it really has nothing to do with Nazis or anything like that. It was basically his initials, but the way he had it.
He had
the lightning bolt SS. Yeah. And yeah, to me, certainly as a tattoo, not a good idea. But people do things that aren't good ideas.
Yeah, like get names of their girlfriends tattooed on them.
Yeah, that's probably not good too. But then I think sometimes, maybe part of the problem is the actual military itself, because we're sending these guys over there to kill, and kind of like in Vietnam, where why are they really over there? If Bin Laden's gone, and certainly in Iraq, there's for the weapons of mass destruction, and there's no weapons of mass destruction. So nobody's really sure why they're over there. So they have to, they have to instill that hate in them for that this is the enemy and you should hate them.
Right.
Maybe
right.
that builds up so much that the anger and the hatred just comes out, where it's not a war anymore. It's actual like a personal vendetta.
Right. I mean, you're absolutely right. You get into that like that generational war, like in Cyprus, between the Greeks and the Turks. I mean, it's like it doesn't matter, but somebody sometime long ago killed your grandfather or your uncle or whatever, and they happened to be Greek or Turkish, and you just gotta hate them because yeah, it's a bad situation. I mean, they
forget. I mean, I don't know. When I've been out for a little while now, but after 9/11 and everything, I mean, we were kind of pushed into thinking that these were people who were against us, and these were the people that attacked, New York and the World Trade Center and the Pentagon and everything. And most of these guys aren't, they're just, they're soldiers like anybody else. And I don't know, in World War II, I think it was like that's part of the problem is that it's not a, the sides aren't clear.
Right, it's not a uniform.
They're not in uniforms. Exactly, they're not in uniforms, and you can't hate the uniform. You have to somehow hate the person because he's dressed like everybody else there. So you have to hate. It's hard to kill somebody if there's no hatred for a sane person.
Right.
Without the hatred, and you can't hate the uniform because they don't have uniforms. So you have to hate the person.
Right. And how does that person dress like all the other Arabs? I think it's a bad situation. I think it's you force these people into a bad situation, and this is kind of the stuff that happens. So, right. But you gotta.
They shouldn't do it. They shouldn't do it. But some of it's going to happen, and you just I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a tough call. I mean,
I don't think we're going to solve the.
We're not going to solve it on the Lenny and John show.
You edited a man on the Lenny and John show.
I mean, hell, we just got Skype working. We can't solve all the problems.
Right. They're just mastering the technology of Skype.
Oh, yeah. So. And, that was... I don't want to get into it too deep, but, I mean, my ideology... Well, I wouldn't say it's ideology, but my sane thinking at times, I think, was against what the maybe mission was during my military time, and it probably did go over well sometimes.
Well, just consider the fact that none of those guys who we were told did 9/11 were from Iraq. They were all from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, they're all Saudi. So I mean,
So let's start. We could start there, but all right.
Yeah, and I'm not saying. Obviously, I'm not anti-war. I think it was a good idea to go into Afghanistan, and I think it was a good idea to do the first Iraqi war.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, I'm not so sure about.
Well, the first one we didn't finish. We didn't win it. We just kind of left, and a lot of people got killed because of that. A lot of the Kurds up in the north.
Mm-hmm. But the reason we did do it, the mission was to liberate Kuwait. And we liberated Kuwait. It wasn't to take over Iraq and remove the dictator we put in place 30 years before.
Right, our dictator that we put there.
Yeah. Which makes me just shake my head and I don't understand it, because we put them both into power. You put Saddam Hussein into power and you put Bin Laden into power.
Yep.
And I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I know. That's we'll talk it out with our CIA contacts.
CIA contacts, yeah. And they're gonna get somebody else voted into power in Iraq when it's all done, and 20 years from now he's going to be the same dictator, and it's just going to happen again.
Yep.
So, I don't know.
That's the important thing.
Part of the problem is they just don't understand. We as Americans refuse to understand how they think and their belief system, and we try to convert them over to us rather than trying to understand them.
Well, I've heard this kind of explained this way: is we as a people have had hundreds of years of tradition of either freedom or fighting for freedom, or for personal individual rights.
Right.
Whether it's be like the Greeks laying down the foundation for democracy, the Magna Carta in England, and our Revolutionary War. Well, their structure, their life structure is structured around the tribe. Not the individual freedoms.
Right.
It's more of a tribal sort of a entity. So,
Right, and that all stems back to Islam. And after Muhammad died, it was a question of who was going to carry on as the prophet, and they broke into the 3 different tribes and who they followed.
Right. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's beyond the Lenny and John show.
It is, but hey, here's something that's not. Did you see the video or the news about the woolly mammoth video?
I saw the pictures. I'm like, it's really grainy. It's like the
Bigfoot video.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like I can't tell what that is. It's blurry.
Oh man, I was kind of excited at first. I was a little bit disappointed, but overall, man, I don't know.
But what happened? They found these woolly mammoths, the frozen ones, a few years ago, right? And I'll talk about cloning and mixing them with elephants and getting them cloned and getting them going again.
Yeah.
And what happened to that? Was that on hold?
It's still ongoing. It's not.
Still trying to get it going.
It's not easy. It's not freaking.
Well, I know, but they said 5 generations and they'll have a woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
And
right, because they got to do half woolly mammoth, half woolly mammoth, half woolly mammoth.
I'm thinking, yeah. I'm thinking, if they did it like they did on South Park, where they took putters and just glued dog hair to them.
So somebody said, and now that I'm rewatching it, somebody said it's just a bear with a big fish, and that's be
a possibility. The tusks are the fish. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looks.
That sounds more likely.
Yeah. And re-looking at it, kind of does. Because, dude, I tell you what, man, I don't know what I would do if I thought I saw a woolly mammoth. If I would
take a clear picture of it.
I would take a clear photograph, and
maybe I continue following. I can't imagine they move that fast.
Right, and before
the damn elephant.
Right, and before I said, okay, got the evidence. Oh, good.
I would upload it, check it out, make sure it's clear, post it on Facebook, and continue following.
Twitter.
Tweet it.
I'll tweet it. I'll tweet the woolly mammoth and follow it, and
maybe get a handful of hair.
I like the idea of woolly mammoth, but
I can't imagine they're scary.
Running around, there must be more than one.
Well, it has to be, yeah.
So,
unless he's the last one.
Yeah.
The last woolly mammoth.
But then you could breed it with that.
Breed him real quick. You at least get get his residuals and mix him with an elephant.
Yeah, exactly. Sign him to a 4-movie deal.
I wonder if you could mate a woolly mammoth with an elephant.
That's a good question.
I don't know how closely they are related. I don't know.
But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. I was kind of excited about it until I saw the video. I was a little less excited, but I was like, man,
well, that's that lake down there in Antarctica.
That was in wasn't that the woolly mammoth was in Siberia?
Yeah, no. I mean, but the the lake they found in Antarctica, they're looking for that prehistoric life down there.
Oh yeah, Lake Vostok. Yeah,
Yeah.
so this has been a big thing, and all the time I'm talking about the movie The Thing, which actually is down there in Antarctica.
You're really big on that movie.
Oh, dude, that movie's the bomb. I'm talking about the old one. The new one's okay. Could have done without it, but the movie The Thing.
I'll have to watch that again so I can get on the same wavelength as you.
Oh man, yeah, it's exciting. It's great.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that on my list.
Lake Vostok, which is actually it's
I wonder how they found this thing.
I read something about it. It's crazy that somebody a long time ago, some Russian aristocrat, predicted its existence. I'm not sure.
What?
Yeah,
How do you predict a lake?
I don't know. Well, I mean, probably from the fact that it's Antarctica and it's.
Well, I mean, if it's a continent, it's got to have bodies of water on it.
Right, but maybe he was thinking more to the fact that maybe there's some subglacial thermals that would create a lake, something like that. I'm not sure exactly.
Well, I mean, just scientifically, there's got to be water down there just from the pressure of all the ice, depression on it. It's got to melt. It can't stay frozen.
Right,
it's got that much pressure on it. Yeah,
exactly. Right, and so it's a combination of the pressure and the
heat, because it's the proximity to the center of the Earth.
Right. And so they went down. They got it. They broke through on Super Bowl Sunday is when they broke through. It's a 14 million year old lake, and oh man, dude, it's so exciting. Because think about all the monsters that are living down there. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
There's potential. I mean, there's potential, like viruses and stuff down there that we have no immunity for.
Yeah, that's things
as well as giant Loch Ness monsters and just gigantic, ones that are going to come up and maybe squid-like with long arms and tentacles and.
Right, but it's like 2.2 miles down.
Yeah, it's a long way down.
Oh man!
Have they extracted anything yet? Any water? I mean, it must have with a drill bit. It must have come up, right?
Well, it's kind of crazy. One of the concerns was whatever they're doing to drill it, they're using a lot of kerosene and glycol, and
keep it from freezing up, probably.
Right. And they were worried about when they broke through that might contaminate this pristine lake, which everybody.
I wouldn't say might. I'm pretty sure it will. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but what had happened, or what they suspected would happen, was when they bursted through, they got a surge of water that came up.
Right, from the pressure.
And it actually it froze all that kerosene and the glycol, or it turned back to ice. The water turned back to ice.
Sealed the hole back up.
Yes.
Oh, that's no good.
Right. But I don't know. The article was really kind of vague as far as that goes. But here's the cool thing. Here's the applicable to Newt Gingrich's moon colony. Is there are two two icy worlds. One's Europa, which is around Jupiter, and there's another one that starts with the E that is around Saturn. That is actually, they believe that may have liquid water underneath the surface, kind of along the same things. So, man, wouldn't that be awesome?
Saying possible life?
Possible life on those planets.
Now, what would that do for the Bible and everything?
I don't know. See, those sort of things, I don't freak out about those sort of things.
Well, I don't freak out either. I'm just wondering how it's explained.
I don't think evolution exists in a vacuum. Obviously there.
Now, what do you mean by that?
Well, day to day. I mean, that the flu
Oh
virus.
no, it's long term, millions of years.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Flu virus.
I wouldn't like that. That's like a flu virus changing, adapting. I wouldn't really say it's evolution. It's just adapting to its environment to stay alive.
Well, but that's what evolution is. I mean,
evolution is